Ah, surprise! I started early. I didn't look at the time when I pressed the button. All right, but it's fine. It's fine. Do you want it to wait? No, actually, I'm on time now. Three seconds. Dope. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the weekly dev stream. Hope you're all having a fantastic Tuesday. Because it's Tuesday today. Dope stuff. I haven't updated the agenda. That's true. This needs to go. How do I turn it on again? Wait. I know how to do this. Studio mode. Boop. And boop. Cool. Got it rolling. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the weekly dev stream. Hope you're all doing fantastic. I am doing fantastic myself. Thanks for asking. I'm sure you're very curious. We're back, baby. We're back to the old format. Back to the old regular old weekly dev stream classic. It's like you gotta do something different so that when you go back to the way things used to be, people will be like, this is the way. Oh, this is so good. It's like Coke Classic, you know what I mean? Like it's you just gotta do it. Update. Oh shit, it is. Damn it. It's always like, whenever we release updates, there's always a ton of things that I need to keep track of that, like, oh right, we changed this. Oh right, we updated this. Let's see here. Update 8. Let me fix that real quick. Let me just put that button up there so I can change the thing. Update 8. Where's the command? I can't even, it's been so long. So no. Update 8. Update 8. Now. Out now. TM. All right. Did it update? No, it didn't. Stupid sexy command. Wait. Why isn't it working? I hope I spend... There we go. Update 7, update 8. Oh, update 7 is still here, apparently. Any other? Should I spend the rest of the stream just looking at the bots? Are there any weird? There's crossplay. Did you guys know there's this crossplay between Steam and Epic? That's also a command, apparently. I don't remember that. Death count? That is accurate. That is accurate. Let's see here. Yeah, cool. All right. Let's go back to the menu. All right. Anyways, welcome to the weekly dev stream. We're back to the classic format again. Back to two hours. Oh, wait. The agenda is wrong. So we gotta get. We're so rusty. Community highlights. Community highlights. It's back. Also, there's no gameplay. Get rid of that shit. There we go. Can we start the stream now? I feel like I've got everything sorted out. I had like 40 minutes prep time and I still didn't manage to get everything done. All right, whatever. Welcome everybody to weekly dev stream. This is the third time I'm starting the stream. We're just roll the intro. All right, blah blah blah. You get it. Welcome to weekly dev stream. We're finally done. Well, not done. We're finally released Update 8 on early access. Jeez. It only took us 40 years, 47 years. We released experimental in June, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and then we've been on experimental for 16 months, 47 months, 32 months, rounding upward, and last week we finally released Update 8, and it feels weird to me because you guys have been playing Update 8 on experimental for forever. Like, you've been part of the process, you know, like I've seen people stream the game, I've seen people, you know, give us feedback on the game and all this stuff. So like whenever we have our early access releases, it always feels like people overplayed it. Like, who cares? It's people already know. And then, you know, we have things where we almost break our CCU records the last weekend because there's so many people playing the game. which is really cool to see. It's amazing. So big kudos to everyone who played the game on experimental to help us give feedback and help us concurrent users. So like, I think if you checked Steam charts, there were like 32,000 people CCU average during Saturday or something like that. Not average, but the peak or something. Which is and I think our record is like 34,000. So like, that's pretty dope. That's pretty cool. It's cool to see that the interest for Satisfactory is still going strong. You know, even though we've been in this weird updating the engine for a year almost. Like it's been a long time since we pushed an update, and then people show up anyways, and it's super cool to see. And another really cool stat for me specifically is that the patch notes video got like 500,000 views in like less than a week, which is also sort of not a record, but like, I don't think that's ever happened before. I don't think we've gotten that many views on a patch notes. Well, okay, first of all, it's the most views we've ever gotten on patch notes video. So just putting that out there is like, it's the most viewed patch notes video we've ever made. But like videos overall on the Coffee Stain channel, we usually don't get that many views this quickly. So that's super cool to see as well. Super nice for me, because I struggled with that video for so long. That was a pain in the ass to work on. Yeah, super cool. What else? What am I talking about? I just like completely dropped the ball. For the first, okay, fun fact. For the first time ever, I haven't pulled the shades for the room. Cause like there needs to be even lighting in this room to get this lighting set up, right? And this time I didn't pull the curtains cause like it's dark outside in Sweden. Like the sun sets at like 3 p.m. now. On the other side of the street, there's like 4 people in the window just looking in, and I'm like, oh, I can't get up now and close the curtains because that would be weird. So I'm just gonna commit. I'm just gonna commit to it. Anyways, yeah, super stoked. Update is it's super cool that so many people showed up. It's super humbling to us as well. We worked on this update for so long, and super stoked to see that so many people care and gave us, said a lot of nice things. Update isn't perfect. The game has never been perfect. We're in early access. There are bugs, and I just want to spend a couple of minutes, and this is the state of dev segment, I would say. So I'm going to update this. I just want to spend a couple of minutes, sort of addressing some of the known issues on Update 8. These are issues that if you played on experimental, you probably know about all of these. But I just want to like really quickly go through some of these things. We will talk about Fixmas, I promise. So we'll just get sort of the spring cleaning out of the way, and then we'll talk about Fixmas, okay? So a couple of known issues with Update 8. We've been working on this for a long time. It's a little bit of work in progress. The biggest thing it is not work in progress in terms of Update 8, but there are a few known kinks with Update 8 essentially. But one of the systems that's still a bit work in progress in Update 8 is the online sort of integration system that we have. And that's sort of taking care of some of the setting up your friends list, logging you into Steam and Epic, getting your session ID and all that stuff. And that system is sort of like a rework of a system that we've had before. And we've pushed sort of the current implementation of that system on early access. And the thing that, God, is so distracting. These people, like, I might need to close the curtain. Holy shit. That's the last time I'm doing that. What was I talking about? Yeah, so the the online integration system is there to like keep track of both like online EOS integration as well. So like you can do crossplay between Steam and Epic and that sort of stuff. And currently, one of the features that's not fully implemented yet is the ability to unlink your Epic account if you've linked your Epic account on Steam. And the plan is that we're going to push a couple of updates on the experimental branch with the new integration stuff. There's also a couple of new features that we haven't had before. This is my moment. 1 second, guys. Okay, we're finally alone. Holy shit. Okay. They got a free show. What was I talking about? Yeah, so the online integration stuff, we're gonna push that on experimental fairly soon. I think it's gonna be this week, but I'm not 100% sure if that's gonna be possible, but that's the plan at least. Yeah, like I mentioned, one of the features that's missing currently is the ability to be able to unlink accounts. We're gonna add that feature back in its current iteration, and then we'll put that on experimental so you guys can try it out. So there's gonna be a workaround for people being able to unlink your accounts or whatever by switching to the experimental branch. And there's probably a couple of more features, but I don't want to speak about those things or talk about those things prematurely because I'm not sure how far we've gotten in that process. So it'll be a fun surprise for you guys, I guess, on experimental, like how that system changes. I also don't fully understand some of these changes. So that's going to happen in the very near future, possibly this week. There's going to be an update on experimental with the new online integration, and we're probably going to spend a quite significant time on experimental with this stuff. We might not be able to merge everything over fully to the regular branch until like next year, possibly. But you like in terms of gameplay, you know, there won't be any changes. This is just to handle the online side of things, and it shouldn't affect any like, you know, connectivity things. It should just be like some of the features that's in Satisfactory for regarding this aspect of the game. Cool. All right. Some known issues as well when it comes to the game. So a lot of, if you didn't know, we've updated the minimum requirements for the game. We have like sort of whenever the game crashes, you can send us in your crash report, right? And that we get that stuff in the back end. And for the most part, a lot of the crashes, the majority of the crashes are either related to mods or please remember that mods aren't officially supported by us. So if you end up crashing the game and you have mods installed, try playing the game without mods and make sure that and see if you can reproduce the crash that you got with the mods and without the mods installed and see if it still happens. So a lot of crashes that are related to mods, the vast majority of mods, I believe. The other thing that we're seeing is like crashes related to GPU and hardware and stuff like that. And these come in many different forms, the crash error, so to speak. It might say like D3D11 related issue. It might say like DirectX device hung or something like that. It might be like Vulkan related. It says, if you read, it's kind of hard to make out for most people, I think, but like if you read the crash report thing, if it contains anything related to like DirectX or a D3D11 or D3D12 or anything like that, usually those crashes are related to hardware or your drivers or your, you know, whatever, something related with your graphics card, essentially. It's hard for us to resolve those issues because those are really low level issues, and for the most part, those are related to something on your end. A lot of these crashes can be circumvented by either like updating your graphics card or drivers. Actually, even your graphics card, because a lot of people are getting crashes because the graphic card doesn't support some of the aspect of the game anymore because we updated the engine. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, updating your drivers for your graphics card. What's resetting the render cache? No, wait, what's it called? Where is it? What's it called? The thing. Reset the cache something. Wait, it's at the tip of my tongue. If you go to our Steam forums and the bugs, blah blah blah, there's a post about this. Reset shader cache. That's what it's called. And like how to reset your shader cache, that depends on what graphics card you have. So just Google your graphics card and see how you can do it. Also verify your game files as well. Sometimes that helps out because sometimes the game isn't installed properly and that can cause a bunch of issues. So yeah, if you aren't, and there's also a couple of workarounds. I can't really like. I'm not gonna dive too deep into like some of the solutions here, but there are some workarounds. Sometimes if you see specifically one of the most common ones is like it says like device something hung. There are a couple of workarounds. If you Google like how to solve that, there's like ways where you can like increase the timeout between your computer and the graphics card. That solves in a lot of cases. And I think there's other like registry settings you can make to like increase that. But there are some workarounds for this, and you can also check our forums for some of these solutions to these problems. But a lot of people that I've talked to are running into these crashes due to their hardware are being too old, essentially too old, and like not supported really anymore, and it's a bummer. Googling hung device is not safe for work. It's fine if don't worry about it. Just put safe for work. What was I gonna say? There's so many things to talk about today. I can't even begin. By the way, I need to remember to check this. Let's see if my hardware or audio reset again. It happens every time. Let's see here. Okay. It did. Cool. Why does it keep... I don't know. I don't understand. I think my computer is doing stuff that I'm not aware of sometimes. This is weird. All right, should be fixed. Anyways, what was I talking about? You should write this stuff down. That's the annoying thing. I have written this down. It's just that I lose my train of thought when I get distracted. But yeah, essentially, I was talking about like the GPU stuff related. But anyways, there are workarounds for a lot of this stuff, and if you just Google, there's some workarounds. But a lot of people that I talk to have had just old hardware in general, and hardware that isn't really supported anymore, doesn't meet our minimum requirements. This is something that Jace talked a lot in a video that we posted with the Unreal Engine 5 video, I think, on our YouTube channel. If there's more info there. And we talked about like setting the minimum requirements for a game is quite difficult because like where do we draw the line between like, you know, being able to boot up the game is one thing, but like being able to run the game, like, you know, we don't fully know what our recommended hardware is and stuff like that. There are also cases where when you're comparing like GPUs, there can be graphics cards that have like better performance than the cards that is listed on our minimum specs. But if like NVIDIA doesn't support drivers for your card, then you're also kind of like unlucky, unfortunately. And it's a bit unfortunate, and you know, it's sort of like paved the way of progress. I also don't fully know like where do we draw the line as like how far back we support, you know, hardware that's to play our game, you know, because like I think the 1050 is like 10 years old at this point or something like that. So it's a bit tricky, but just to be aware of that. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else that's also interesting is when you first boot up the game, a lot of people experience the thing where the game takes a long time to boot up. I need to make a slight correction here. It's not due to shaders compiling, actually. It's because of the antivirus something. So when the game boots up for the first time, there's a bunch of like modules that are cooked into the game. And we've noticed that a lot of antivirus programs, including Microsoft Defender, they tend to like, when you download the game, they want to like scan through all those modules before it boots up the game, or in the process of booting up the game. And that's a bit annoying. We're gonna reach out to Microsoft and see if we can solve that in some way. And there are ways to sort of circumvent it if you have like other antivirus software that's like blocking you. We've also noticed this when we started pushing Update 8, that a lot of antivirus software just started triggering on Satisfactory for some reason, and we're trying to solve that as well. Don't know when we'll be able to look into that, but that's something that we're looking into fairly soon, I hope. So just beware that, like, sometimes when you boot up the game, it might take a long time. And one repercussion of that is that when it takes a long time for the game to boot up in that state, the game will try to log you in on with our online services, and it ends up being in a state where the game gets like blocked because of antivirus. So like when we ask to like sign in online, that times out, and then there's no way for the game to like get back on track with the sign-in process, essentially, because that's sort of an anticipated block. And the only way to circumvent that is to just restart the game and load it back up again, and then it should sign you in properly. So a lot of people probably run into the issue where you boot up the game and it takes a long time for the game to boot up, and then once you get to the menu and you press like continue or load game, it says like you're offline and you're not logged in. And that's due to that long process. So just restart the game and then try again, and it should resolve at that point. So yes. Cool. Those were some of the known issues that I have. There's a couple of like other things that we could talk about, and maybe we should save it for the Q&A if people are interested in these kind of topics. I don't know if we've addressed some of these things, but there's like a couple of things that are like highly voted on our QA site, for instance. And one of these is like some of the vehicle feedback, for instance, that we have in the game right now. We're currently looking into that feedback and seeing what we can do. I don't know if we have any news we can give regarding that, because the vehicle system is kind of mixed of how like people feel about it. And quick TLDR, when we updated the engine version, the old physics engine that was in the game that we based all the vehicles on, that was deprecated. So we had to completely rework all vehicle systems from scratch. And it's a lot of work. Just like we're never gonna be able to like get back to the old, like how vehicles handled before the update, because that's just impossible at this point. And we try to like find a good middle balance where like, we're pretty happy with it. And a lot of people like it, the new vehicle physics. A lot of people don't like it. It's like, I think a lot of it comes down to like preference a little bit. But we are sort of listening to the feedback that we're getting regarding this. And we were gonna look into this before pushing to EA, but we unfortunately didn't have time. And I'm not sure if this will be a thing that like, I think this is something we're going to look into for later releases, whether we'll be able to make any tweaks to the vehicle system. But we are listening to the feedback, and we're going to look into it at some point. And I think there was one more thing that I wanted to touch on, or maybe I should... Yeah, there's like a couple of multiplayer issues as well that a lot of people are posting about, and we're also aware of that stuff. Some of the implementations that we made for the game, we had to focus a lot of implementation for single player because of time constraint, essentially. Even though we've been in experimental for 4 billion years, we still couldn't get around to everything that we want to get around to. There's a lot of features still in the game that aren't up to parity with the old version of the Satisfactory. And I think somebody on Steam made a pretty good like parable where if you think about it in terms of like, why did we make the engine update if we're not on parable at this point? It's like in the old engine, we were sort of like at the top of the cliff, not really at the top, but like close to the top of the cliff in terms of like how much we could increase performance and fix issues that people are having with certain aspects of the game. And now that we have Unreal Engine 5, we're sort of like back down, at the root of the cliff now. But now we have a much more. Now it's possible for us to like climb out that mountain again and get further back up and improve the game in more aspects that we could before. And that's something that we're still working on and improving on. And you guys in Update get like this first like big chunk of improvements for the game, essentially, and we're gonna keep working on that. But multiplayer has a bunch of issues right now, and multiplayer is always been like, I wouldn't say it's secondhand, because multiplayer is a huge part of Satisfactory and it's a big aspect of the game, and we really want the multiplayer experience to be as smooth as possible. There's a lot of work that goes into optimizing the game for multiplayer specifically. And in this round of update, there were a couple of like implementations that that didn't get fully fleshed out for multiplayer. And one of the big ones is the hypertubes specifically. So like writing hypertubes as client is kind of funky right now. There's a couple of issues that come up, and we're gonna look into that. But I don't think we're gonna be able to look into it for update 8, unfortunately. That's future work. But we are aware of that stuff, and if we can fix, like we have a list of things that we're gonna try and fix for this year, but we have very limited time left for this year. And but we're gonna do our best, and you guys are gonna get the, you know, once I have any news to give, I'm gonna try and share that with you. I'm planning to make a video this week. Hopefully I can sort of gather like sort of what we're planning to do for update 8 that's left in that video in terms of bug fixing. I don't think it's too much, but you know, anything is better than nothing, I think. And we'll take it from there, I guess. And with that being said, one thing I want to talk about next is Fixmas, because that's one of the big questions folks have had. Now that December's coming up, Christmas is upon us, y'all. Christmas is like, the holidays are in, well, actually it's next week. It's December 1st is next week. So technically it starts then. So what about Fixmas? You know, everyone's been asking, is Fixmas coming back? Are we gonna save Fixmas? Because if you remember, when we updated the engine, a lot of the Fixmas related stuff broke. And we've been so focused on fixing Satisfactory, the core play for Satisfactory. So we have always been like, all right, Fixmas, that comes later. But now we're at the point where like, Fixmas is like next week. So holy shit. But I'm happy to say that we are going to fix Fixmas. We're gonna fix the stuff that's related to the Fixmas update. The calendar will get fixed. Some of the items that don't work right now are gonna get resolved as well. And next week, Fixmas is gonna be rolling as usual. There won't be any new content for Fixmas this year because we only had like 1 or 2 weeks to fix the stuff that's for Fixmas right now, and we're very busy with other stuff right at the moment. But Fixmas is at least gonna come back with you know, sort of the same sort of content that you saw last year, and you know, the calendar is gonna come back and all that stuff. So we're pretty stoked about that. We were a bit worried for a second that we weren't gonna be able to have time for Fixmas this year, and like everything kind of like came down at the same time. It's a bit touch and go for back, I'm not gonna lie. But we're fairly confident right now that we're gonna be able to fix up Fixmas, and you guys can build your candy canes and your 1 billion presents a minute stuff. So yeah, this is a Fixmas sold out. Yeah. So we're pretty stoked about that at least. Cool. All right. I think that's it, mostly state of dev for now. If you have any questions, then remember that we do the thing with Slido now. So post your questions. If you do hashtag !AMA, you can get the link to the Slido page where you can post your questions. You can also upvote questions there, and then we'll save those for the Q&A segment. And I'll try and respond, and we can talk about certain topics if you want to hear more about some of these things. And we'll take it from there, essentially. So yeah. We'll get the snap back? No, unfortunately not. The snap is due to the old, like, the way weapons worked before didn't work with being able to have snap. So unfortunately, no. That was really cool though. I wish we could add that back, but we never have time. So yeah, that's State of Dev. Thanks everyone for tuning in, specifically Con Artist. So glad you can join us for the State of Dev as it's about to wrap up. But there's always the VOD. You know what I mean? All right. Anyways. Actually, one thing I'm going to mention real quick as well is that, remember on the stream last week we mentioned that there's a big sale going on right now at lizarddoggo.com. So I'm selling out a bit more here. If you do !merch, you can get the link to one of our partner merch partners, lizarddoggo.com. There's currently a sale going on lizarddoggo.com. And I wish I had the thingy. Don't have it. The thingy. But yeah, essentially this is a sale going on right now. It's gonna run for another week. So actually it's gonna run until December 1st. So there's a sale going on right now, and I'm trying to find there's also a couple of coupons codes that you can use. Let me see if I can find, I think I saw it on Twitter, actually. Heroic replicas. All right, here we go. There's a sale going on right now. There's also a couple of like codes you can use during checkout, and here are the codes. I don't remember all the specifics, but there's a bunch of like stuff that's cheaper, and also we got the new tapes are available right now. And if you use these coupon codes during checkout, you can get different like offers, if you will. So if you use the code penset50 for orders over 50, you can get the free pen set with your order. If you do ship 100, you can get free shipping to the US, UK, EU, and Canada. Lightbox 150 gives you an additional lightbox in your order. The lightbox is the little like artwork where there's like a little bean and a little factoring on it. It's really cute. And then ship 200 is you can get to ship to 200 of your favorite characters. I'm sorry, I'm really tired apparently. For orders over 200, you can get free global shipping, and you can pick any one of these on your order, and you can use them multiple times on over multiple orders, but you can only use them once per order, of course. The website is lizarddoggo.com, and you can also do !merch. I think I said that. Check it out. There's a bunch of stuff there. Buy right now. Okay, that's the message. Anyways, let's keep going with our regularly scheduled program and dive into Q&A. No, not buy. Did you not hear me? I didn't say buy, I said buy. God. I can't believe you guys. Anyways,